Hey y'all, happy Monday. I haven't made my little video for Atlanta yet, so I'll do that this week. Replace it. Anyway, I'll replace the Beverly Hills with Atlanta. Anyway, hi. I'm here to talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I watched it last night with my daughter, and then I watched it again this morning on Peacock because I like my unedited shit. So we start the episode with Shamia, Angela, and Britt, and they're over at Shamia's house. There's more apologies between Angela and Shamia. Uh, Angela talks about how she got shit from the venue because they were all wild. Well, they weren't all, because Britt was wilding out. Um, Shamia asks Britt, what's really going on? Because this is completely disproportionate. Those were not her exact words, but that's 100% what's been going on. Kenya hasn't really been coming for Britt, and Britt's been real hyped up. And I'll talk at the end about what I kind of think happened. Angela was backing Britt up, but did Angela? Oh, she says, "What's going on?" And Angela says, "Yeah, I was supporting my friend. That doesn't mean I fucking agree with you." Uh, Britt says she was not trying to intimidate Kenya and wants to make peace, and I honestly do believe her. So either she's a good actor or she's telling the truth. Angela tells her that she will have to fall on her sword a little bit. And I think that's probably true. Shamia brings up Portia's shade about Charles Oakley, and Angela kind of plays it off, but you can tell it's bothering her. Also, Chambord and champagne. I'd never seen this before. Yes, please. I fuck with that. Then we go to Kenya, Portia, and Kelly. They are scene models for the opening of the Kenya Moore hair spa. Also, I love Kelly's fit in this. Also, I would like to say, I love Kelly's fit most of the time. Kelly can fucking dress. And she's making an effort with Kenya, or Kenya, and so is Portia, or Kenya needed somebody to film with, not sure. And Kenya, after the conversation, it's clear she's out for blood with regards to Britt. When Kelly tries to say, hey, this is not the same person that I know, Portia is not hearing it and basically walks up, gets up, starts pacing around, and she is activated. Angela and her daughter Amari, they meet. There are issues with Angela's mother and Amari, and it's a little convoluted. I would kind of like to hear everybody's sides of the story. And later today, I'm going to listen to all the awesome podcasts I love to listen to that gives me background. But I had to work. I'm so sad. Anyway, the daughter was married for 4 months, and the grandmother like ratted her out when they got in a fight. When, as near as I can tell it, the daughter went to the grandmother to borrow a car that Angela had actually purchased. Her mother had actually purchased. And Angela's mother and Angela's sister tried to charge Angela's daughter to use the car. They got into it. And then Angela's mother told Angela that her daughter had been married for 4 months and she didn't know. I think, as near as I can piece together, that's at least the picture that's being painted. Okay, so here are some questions I have. Amari, why didn't you tell your mama you were married? What was the reason? Did they object to the person you married? Does the person you marry maybe doesn't want to be on camera and you were filming a show? And I don't know, but just curious as to why. And I want to hear all sides of the story. Also, Angela keeps bringing up, or her later on, her husband brings up that they're paying for their lives. And if you're going to do that, that's great and generous. But if you keep bringing it up, I would feel like fuck off. Honestly, keep your fucking money. But that's just my opinion. I also have endured some bullshit because of things like that. So I understand. Now we go to Britt and Portia. They go to have lunch or whatever. Britt says she regrets her behavior, and I do. I really do believe her. Portia tells Britt that no one else is hearing what she is hearing with regards to her interactions with Kenya. And she says, maybe you came in with an idea of who Kenya was. And that's 100% what I think happened. I think Britt liked the show, was a fan of the show. And I'm not one of those people that has a problem with fans being on the show. Okay, you know the history, you know what you're getting into. I'm okay with it. Um, But yeah, I think she was a fan. She watched the show. She was ready for Kenya. She felt like she caught shade. Maybe she wanted to have a big first few episodes and then she took it too far. That's my personal opinion. I could be wrong. Y'all tell me. All right. Angela and Charles. Uh Charles tells Angela he's not going with her to Kenya's opening. That's woman stuff. And when Angela fills him in on the shade that Portia was flinging, um, Charles says some bullshit like, "You need to do your job and shut that down and fuck yourself. Don't have behavior that invites speculation." I mean, no, I realize you're famous. There's going to be speculation but that's not Angela's responsibility. She did her job. All right, everybody's headed for Kenya's event. Y'all, is Kelly driving? Is she riding in an RV? Does she pick Britt up in an RV? Is it a really fancy Sprinter van? Why does she have a branded van? Is it a food truck that you ride? I want to know about Kelly's vehicle headed to Kenya's. Okay. Also, Kenya started drinking while she was in Glam. She was geared up. She was hot. I don't know who got her hot. Producers, I don't fucking know. Her private, I don't know. But she was ready. All right. Britt brought beautiful white flowers. Also, the hair contest, beautiful, amazing artists. Uh, Drew, Kelly, and Britt are all late, which would fly all over me, but not everybody. Like, I have an early thing. It's like pathological, honestly. Um, Everyone catches up. Britt's aunt died. Shamia and Portia catch Cynthia up. And everyone is really pretty much on Kenya's side. Even Kelly at this point, she's like, you're going to have to take your licks, but I think you're going in there with a good attitude. So, y'all, why did Kenya ruin her own event? Before everything pops off, Portia says she's worried that, based on the interaction they had the day before, that Kenya is about to act up. She is not hearing sense. She is not listening to reason. And as Britt enters, we see Kenya over doing shots in the corner by herself. Now, I don't know how that was edited together, but it looked like she saw Britt and started doing shots, so that when she pulled out those poster boards, I feel like she was lit up. When Britt tries to give Kenya the flowers, she just flat out totally ignores her, just leaves Kenya. Also, the ice between Drew and Portia, wow. Okay, now here I have some questions. Was the corn pick actual corn? Or I had heard, like, back when it happened and they were filming, everything I read and heard was like it was a doctored photo, to the point that it was like super obvious that it was doctored. That is not the reaction that the photos seemed to garner from the group of people that were there. So I'm going to assume it was a little bit more realistic. I don't know. I'm glad I didn't have to see it, first of all. And I'm on Brit's side because that was too fucking far. And you're gonna show like what, before and after plastic surgery? Fuck yourself. We can find that shit on our own, Kenya. You don't need to do that. The thing is if you had acted classy and accepted her apology, you would still be on the show and everyone would have been on your side. So just mishandling. Also, why would you do this at an event you were talking about is so important to you? Everyone leaves. I can't remember if it was Cynthia or Drew is the last one to leave. But and everyone calls Kenya out on her behavior. They're like, "You're better." Cynthia's like, "You're better than this." Love it. Um, Cynthia said, "What's lower than hell? That's where we are." Cynthia and Danielle Brooks were on Watch What Happens Live, both charming. It was actually Cynthia's a very good Watch What Happens Live guest. Last week, John Oliver was on, and I was super excited because I love him. But Michelle Williams was the guest with him. And I don't know if her and Andy didn't vibe. Maybe she's not a great talk show guest. Some actors aren't. But as much as I love John Oliver, that episode of Watch What Happens Live was painful to watch. I don't know who didn't have their shit together. I'm going to blame Andy because his name's on the show, right? All right. Y'all tell me what you think. Everybody like and subscribe. Thanks for checking in. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I was going to do a tinfoil tiara Tuesday. A tinfoil tiara Tuesday. There's my tinfoil tiara. Isn't it cute? About some theories about how I think it's actually Erica Jane that's orchestrating this whole let's attack Garcelle thing. And I was going to do that in anticipation of the reunion, but I forgot that the first 3 episodes of the final season of The Handmaid's Tale drops at like 11 o'clock tonight on Hulu. And I will be taking a nap and then watching it because um, with everything that's going on in our world, I think every woman should watch it. I have issues with the show. Trans people are not represented at all in the show. Um, I'm going to give everyone the benefit of the doubt and not think it's a trans exclusionary show and assume that in this terrible, alternate universe future that all the trans people were killed, and how I'm going to relate that to Tinfoil Tiara Tuesday and everything that's going on in our country right now. So a little bit heavy tomorrow, but join me. And if you don't want to do that, then join me on Wednesday for Weedy Wednesday, where we will break down the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion. And I will tell you every content creator that you should listen to and watch about such things. All right. Y'all have a great day. Take care of y'all. Bye.